Okay, so this particular video, I want to talk about your gears, your equipment. So, if you want to find your equipment or gear, you can go into your workshop and look inside your cabinet, and that should have all of your equipment. And anything with orange or whatever mark means that you can upgrade it. There's also, if you see little icons like this on the bottom right, that means that is what you currently have on. But before we even talk about any of the gear or anything like that, what you should ask yourself is that, what type of castle do you want to be? Because when you're talking about attacking, where your castle, you're mostly type of player where you attack others more often than not, then you want to have certain type of gear set, or you want to build them certain way. And then if you're talking about more of a trap or counter attack type of castle or player, then you want to build it to fit that particular type of castle or type of player that you are. So ask yourself that, then you can really focus on what gears you really want to have. So here's the thing about the gear. You can almost look at it like F2P, free to play type of gear, or you could look at it P2P gear, which is pay to play players gear. So definitely difference in those two type of gears. And another tip about gear, you want to forge ahead. Forge ahead, what I mean by forging ahead is, even though if you're not level 60 or level 55, you want to go ahead and get them ready. Like, I remember on my castle, I had, a lot of these level 60 gear way before I was level 60. And reason why you want to is, let's take for example this beast helm. It's blue right now, but let's go ahead and take a look. Look how long it's going to take to forge this to next level. It would take me over 2 days to forge it. So if you try to do it after you turn, you're going to end up spending a lot of gems or speed ups to get those done right away. So definitely forge ahead and have them ready, so when you turn level 55, 40, 45 or 60, then you'll have them ready. Another tip is, a lot of players, beginning players, what they do is they forge very low level gear, which is really not, especially the ones for fighting, they are almost worthless, because at the beginning your player level goes up so fast that by the time you forge them and get enough troops to fight, you're probably beyond level 40 to even use those. So my suggestion on forging equipment is definitely start forging levels 40 and above. There are a few pieces that you can forge at level 35, and there are a few pieces that you can get which you can put on starting level 1, and it's good probably till level 50 or 45. So there are definitely exceptions to the rule, but I would say forge equipment 40 and above, and we will go over specific equipments that you should forge at 40, 55, 60, but that's the way to do it. So let's go over some free to play gear and gear that everybody uses. So there's differences in gear. There are gear for when you do construction, there are gears for when you do research, gears for doing familiars, there's gear for fighting, there's gear for gathering, there's gear for monster hunting. So mostly free gears that are available to everybody are the construction and research gears. So if we look at on the bottom here, you will see the helmet looking thing, and you'll see like a flute down here. So this one, Sentinel Circlet, is something that everybody will need because what it does at gold level, it gives you construction boost of 25%, and that's each one. And once you reach certain level, then you can put on 3 because it's considered accessory. So if we look at any of the gear slots, you see how I have 8 different slots. Right now what you're seeing is you're seeing monster hunting gear, and let's say I would change it to fighting gear, and this would be my fight gear. But if you don't have these quick change, quick swap, then you would have to individually click on one at a time. But main point here is these 3 on the right, bottom right, are called accessory slots, and you can only put on equipment that are considered to be accessories. You can't just put on, for example, let's say you like this particular equipment that gives you army attack of 9.4%, but you also like another one like this or perhaps this. You can't put 3 of these. This is designated as main hand, and you can only put 1 main hand at a time. Just like your helmet, armor, your legs, your offhand, you can only put 1 at a time. Accessories are only thing that you can put on multiples of, and at level 16 and below you can only put 1, and then level 17 then you'll be able to open up another slot for accessories, which allows you to put on 2, and then finally at level 25, castle or workshop 25, you can open up the 3rd slot and put on the 3rd. And this is why you see some people pushing to castle 25 as quick as possible to get that 3rd slot open, especially if your equipment, like we talked about earlier, construction wise, if it gives you 25% at gold, the high level, and there's higher level which is mythic, but at gold level, if you can get 25%, think about 3 slots, you're getting 75% on your construction help. Same thing with research. You're getting significant help for research, and this is another reason why. Now those 2 are considered free to play equipment, and if we look at the equipment here, let's say I want to upgrade, look at some of the items that is required. Like this particular one, coal, you can actually get some of these from Rich Vein by gathering out there. Same as this, you can pick these up, platinum, by gathering rock. And the feathers, you can get them from wood. So these are items, or we call them materials, and a lot of people will refer to them as mats. And so these materials you can get from gathering, or you could get them from specific boxes that are sometimes earned through hell events or different events, right? So I don't have any right now, but they're called material chests. And they're square looking boxes. There are blue ones there, there are purple ones there, and gold ones there. Obviously higher color giving more chance of higher color materials. So those are considered standard equipment that you must have. Also another other type of equipment that you need for so you could split them up for production side or resource side, and then you could split the other side as fighting side. So let's take another example. My helmet, for example, here I can see that Nosferus mask. This one gives you army capacity, meaning you can actually, if you're sending out together, if it requires you to send out 10,000 together, I don't know, 10,000 pieces of rock, then your army capacity, saving 16.8%, it will require you 16.8% less of troops to send out. That's what that is. And then there's travel speed there. And then you can get construction speed, resource gathering speed, food production rate. So these are everything that gets added up. And as you upgrade your grades, these go up with your grade as well. And you'll notice you'll only find 4 things here. Let's go back and see why. Reason why we're only finding 4 things, but here I got 5 things added here. Reason why is because of this particular jewel food. So it adds food production rate and army capacity. So jewels are really important for gears, and you'll get 3 slots for each piece of gear, and this is where you enhance your equipment. But here I definitely do not want to put in any war jewels, attack jewels, because it would be a big waste unless you're trying to be, I don't know, really tricky about it and have some awesome jewels in here to make others think that you don't have anything, you have the wrong gear on. And jewels from scouting report or anything like that, they cannot see your jewels that are inside or that are inlaid in your within your equipment. So but most of the people, 99.9% of the people, they will put in jewels that corresponds to that particular equipment. So let's take a war gear. Here, what I have is a purple firewall plate. It's a great equipment to have for fighting and defending against attacks. So this particular one, you'll notice I laid 3 different type of jewels in here. They're only blue jewels, but as I get more jewels, I obviously will upgrade them to purple or gold jewels, right? So this one right here, infantry attack jewel, will give me 6%, while range will give me range attack of 6%. So they're very helpful. And Trojan jewel gives me 3% on HP for my infantry. So obviously better jewels, you'll have more boost on your stats, and they're hidden from outside view. And along with, as the grade go up again, they go up in stats as well. But let's look at how much things it take. For example, if I wanted to upgrade this, I would need 8 gold ancient blueprints. So I am really far away from this. Now, also requires 15 springs, but look how many springs I have here on my material closet or cabinet. See? So I got 5, I can get 10 more, and you'll notice this one, gunpowder as well, I got pretty decent amount, right? But let's look at upper left corner. I don't have a lot of this. So usually most of the time when you see on the upper left corner, these are called ultra rare items. They are the items that are hard to get. And some of these are nearly impossible to get if you are free to play player, because they are usually given within the chests that you purchase, or maybe certain events, but you don't get them by too much by hitting monsters, or you can never get them by gathering. Okay, so another example, and you would have to go through every piece of equipment to see what their abilities are and what they do for you. I can't go over every single piece of equipment, but the theme is, let's get out of this and go into event equipment. These are usually the monsters or equipment that you cannot get as a free to play player. Maybe very low grade of them, but usually you won't be able to. Like champion set gear. Okay, unless you really know what's going on, how much you're willing to spend, and how much champion set costs, don't buy any championship set or champion set gear or chests or whatever packs that's available for champion set only, those will waste you a lot of money because they don't just require 10, 20, or even $100 to just take them to highest level possible. You will almost I would consider that like top tier players as a champ set, and champ gear set you usually will not be able to get. So let's look in, for example, the shop here. If I look at the shop, like this champion chest, this is very actually a good deal right now, 19.99, right? So you get them for 19.99. You get 200 of champion chest. The problem with this is Crimson Main is your what you consider ultra rare item, and you will hardly ever get these. And in order for you to make, let's say you get 20 here, and plus maybe, oh, who knows what you do, you might get lucky and get some out of the chest. Well, the problem comes with, first of all, it's really ultra rare to get those items. But let's say you want to make a champion stride, they would require 5 of these, and for you to get 5 all the way to gold, that would cost you a lot some money. And this is why we don't do championship set, because you get 200 chests for 19.99. But if we look at other equipment, there is a pack called Material Madness. Here it is right here. So you're going to get same price, 19.99, right? But what you get is 233 chests of almost all the monsters out there. So how many is there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 different type of chests, 233. So comparatively, your championship set cost about 14 times the price. And I'm going to tell you right now, by investing $20, your money goes way far by investing into Material Madness. And I would invest Material Madness if you are going to spend money for first 3 or 4. That way you can get your equipment going, maybe even further than that. And then once you get to a certain level where a lot of your equipment's gold level and you want to take it to mythic or whatever, then that's when you want to get specific material chests only. So if I go back in, and if I go towards the bottom, usually there's going to be specific monster chests that comes out on a daily basis. Every single day it will change what monster chest it'll be. Like for today, for example, it will be, let's see, Bon Appetit. So for $4.99 US, you'll be able to, no, this is, I'm sorry, that's something else. So today is Titan. So $4.99 you'll be able to get 50 chests of Titan, along with Glistening Pearl, which is the ultra rare item, 15 of those, and a few other items that's from Titan. So this is when you want to get specific. I got a lot of other pieces, but I really need that Glistening Pearl. This is when you want to start doing specific monster pack purchases. And again, your monster or your gear goes as far as what you're willing to spend and whatever. I usually stop at this point here once I get my blues and purple grade, just because this particular account is a trap account, which is more of a defensive account, and I don't want to look too strong to my attackers because I want to get attacked. And if you see somebody with like mythic or gold gears all over, then it's gonna cause them to hesitate to attack me because I'm gonna look way too strong. And for me, I'm only 95 million mite castle, and I want billion mite castles to attack me. So I'm trying to look as weak as possible, like as fragile as I can be, so I can get an attack from them. So that's about material packs and whatever. But free to play gears. Also, you can still, by hitting monsters, get non-ultra rare items. You can still get ultra rare items on a very, very small percent of time. And you could get some items through gifts that comes through gift chests through guild. And you could get them by hitting monsters, right? So each of these monsters that come out corresponds to certain specific gear. Like for example, if we take hard rocks, it helps on the shoes or production rate, training speed, and resource gathering speed. That's what it does. And if you go to Voodoo Shaman, these actually help you on your familiar pack research. And Hunter set will give you help on monster hunting itself. And Tidal Titan. So Tidal Titan, let's look at this first piece, Storm Tacit. It helps you on infantry attack and army HP, cav attack. And as the grades go up, it helps you even more, right? So if you get Mythic, it can help you up to 42% infantry attack. That's pretty insane. But you gotta realize it does require you to have 11 of these glistening pearl, which was ultra rare item. So it will take you forever to get those. So just know that it's not something that's gonna happen all the time. You're not gonna play a month or a year and have everything orange. It's a long-term game. So also another big tip here is a lot of people, like if I click on white, it looks like I could make every single piece, right? The problem is they share a lot of the ultra rare items that can be used for merging or forging. So if I make 2 out of this, then I'm taking away from other equipment that I can make. Like this requires 11. So I just took away 2. And if I do that at green level or blue level, I'm taking away a lot of pieces, ultra rare items, to make my Storm Tacit. So rule of thumb on this, unless you're willing to purchase a whole bunch of packs and you're in a hurry, you know what you're doing, I would limit myself at the beginning one best equipment or equipment that you deem best per monster at first. So I wouldn't go around making all 4 of these. I may make just maybe a Storm Tacit or maybe this particular piece, really depending on whatever I'm feeling at the time or whatever I feel like is necessary. And of course, some items like this, it doesn't require you to have ultra rare item. It just takes one rare item. Like this is considered rare item, and you notice I don't have a lot of. And these are common items where I got lots of, more than whatever. I mean, it's more than enough. But these rare items I have less of. So, but I can make this without taking anything away from this glistening pearl. So maybe 1, maybe possibly 2. But I wouldn't be making every single one, because if I forge this, now I'm taking away glistening pearl again. So pick something and go with it and upgrade that as one piece as high as possible and focus on that particular piece. Because I could go on to the next monster and get different type of, like this one here, Bon Appetit. This one also gives me infantry attack, But this one was infantry and range combo, while Tidal Titan was infantry and cav combo. But they both have infantry within them, and so I may just decide to pick my best item out of here. A lot of people, this one here, Indulgent Visage or Visage, this can be almost be considered free to play item, just because this is considered a rare item, not ultra rare, and you can get these out of hitting monsters. What you can't, or it's really tough to get out of hitting monsters, are these halos. They are super hard to get by hitting monsters. You would have to actually make some purchases or maybe do some hell events and earn them, and that's how you would get them. But they are anytime it requires you to, it's definitely harder and uses ultra rare item. They are actually much better stat wise on these items. Like this one, just even at blue, it would give you 11.75% of attack and HP on infantry and range. So again, I would limit myself one monster or one gear per monster. And you could scroll down or click down on each type of monster and see what kind of advantage they give you. Like for me, let's look at my set of equipment for fighting. So this one, I did it because of attack, and this one has range and HP, so different types, and this one has cav and range. And reason why you see so much mixed up gear on my particular one is because, again, I am a trap and I want all around stats more than focus stats. So like here, we can go down and see my statistics, and they're not far from each other. They hover 300, 285, they're right around each other, not too far from each other. But if I were to focus all my gear into range and range jewel, then I can peak this up way above it. But I would suffer on infantry and cav. And I can reset my talents as well to focus more on all range and boost that particular side up too. But again, with my particular castle being a trap, I need all around stats. So when would I ever need a focus stat? Focus stats are really good when you're doing specific type of attack. Let's say for example, this one person, their front line is range or cavaliers, or cavalry. I'm sorry, I'm thinking basketball. So if their front line is cav, then I want to attack them with range, and that's why I want range focus gear. So all of my stat goes towards range to hit him on his cabs. So let's take another set of example of gear. Maybe she's got one. See, here right now she's sitting, really not doing anything at this point. So you can tell she's got, these are considered, she has mixed gear set right now. So whether they attack her, which they're not going to, but if they ever do attack her, then her stats are kind of evenly distributed. But she can actually change all her gear to go strictly on range and make her stats go way above others, and hence focusing it for specific type of attacks. So it's really good if you're an attacking type of player, then it's good to have a whole bunch of different sets of gear versus one general specific set of gear. Now, one thing about having general specific type of gear where it's all around stat, then you can have one set and you can actually put in a lot of different type of jewels to enhance your stats evenly. Now, disadvantage of it is your stats are even all across the board, so you're not strong in any one particular attack or particular type of troops. Now, advantage of having focused is obviously whether you're infantry, your range, or cav, every single one of your attack can be very strong, far above other people, just because you're focusing on specific attack type. Now, disadvantage is you have to get gear. Let's say you're infantry, you have to get all infantry gear and all range gear and all cav gear, and you have to put in all infantry jewels, infantry HP, attack jewels, all of that. So it would ultimately cost you a lot more time and a lot more money and a lot more jewels. And those are the disadvantages of it. But obviously for big players, they need to have focus attack. But so if you're a starting out player, you're not going to be leading any big war rallies or taking down any darkness 5 level 5s. I would say focus on having all around gear, and as you grow as a player and bigger and better and mightier, then you can start collecting other type of gear and start maybe rejeweling your gear set as well. So I would definitely wait till later, but initially you probably want like a general gear set for that, for yourself. Okay. Now just realize there's really no perfect gear. It's really more about the players that you're fighting against with their stats. There's so many variables that even with my gear or somebody else's gear, maybe they got better set, I may still be able to perform better on specific type of player just because of different things that I'm doing. So, or maybe different jewel set that I have or research. So it's really, you can't say, oh yeah, you have to go with this particular gear. Okay. Now, few worthy equipment or gear, is it gear? Yeah. Gear set that I would recommend as a free-to-play player, and it really, I think it could be helpful, are things like, we know about the construction obviously, and we know about the flutes. I would also get these ivory choker, just because what they do is they boost up your speed. So when you gather, I would put them on first and then switch them out if I need to, but usually you don't need to, and these will actually take you to your tile destination faster. Now, one thing I did do is put on Nasser's Jewel, because what they enhance is they give you army capacity and food production rate, but I'm doing it more for the army capacity. Another set of gear. These are also free to play gear, and this one I'm not doing it for infantry attack. I'm doing it because of my merging speed and familiar experience. And those will be, I got 3 now because of that. Now, next set right here, what you see are monster hunting horn, and these you will not be able to get unless you pay for them. And the pack that you want to get for these are Slayer packs. And we're still into my accessory slots, all the way up to here, I believe, are my accessories. And like some of these will be for the HP or for range, attack, infantry, range, cabs, just different type. But I have them on general set, just again because my specific type of castle. Now, one thing that I do recommend, and some people overlook, is this particular gear here. I would take this to orange, which is mythic level, and at mythic level, the stat that it gives you, let's look at them from here. It was offhand, and the stat you can get out of this particular equipment is pretty amazing for mid or free to play gear. You can get 12.6 army attack, but the biggest thing is army HP. You can get 16% off of this. And other pay to play gear on offhand, you won't find a lot of them unless they're beyond purple or gold level that gives you army HP of 16.1. And if you look at it, this is free to play gear. Look at, you can gather this from field, you can also gather this from rocks, this also from rocks. So these material, if you gather enough, you will get them. So other parts of other areas where you can get material is, another one is this too. So let's say I had guild quest. Look at the rewards. These are the materials that gets dropped. So different rewards. Sometimes you get green ones here. I've even gotten some legendary ones before, and you might sometimes get jewel out of this particular or these. So, yep, that's if you play long enough, you'll get enough material to forge those things. But definitely, big difference between free-to-play gear and pay-to-play gear. You can also, when you forge, you can go to select filter, and let's say construction speed, and I would pick on different one helmet, which one would give it to me. This is only one equipment that's gonna, or only helmet that's gonna help you in construction. And you can see what stats it boosts by going up, and you can change grades to see what's happening there. Okay. So here it tells me that I can forge it by the check mark, but I know for sure I have this. And if I go down or up, it'll show, you see the helmet highlighted here. That means my next one is gold. So that basically tells me I have a purple helmet. And if I go to forge, it tells me what I need. And this particular one, I can make, let's see, I have one, so I need one more. And this one, I have, let's see what we got here. I have one as well. So I will need another one gold. This one, you'll automatically see. You see how it's so low already? That means it's a rare item. So it's always the upper left corner that has the rare item of that particular equipment. So again, I'm on construction side, so if I go here, it tells me which ones give me construction boost. Here I have 3 different options, right? But at gold, I have 1.5% boost, or I have 5.2% boost, or I have 20% boost. Which one would you forge? I would forge lightning guard, right? So that's how we decide which one's good for us, which one's not good for us. Same thing with the shoes. I can choose. Initially, I would choose on level 35 on this before I get Griffin Walkers, because Griffin Walkers, it's a level 55. You're not going to get to wear that till level 55. So Seafarer Cleats actually will help you to all the way up to level 55 on construction. And it's another one of those F2P gear that will help. So I would definitely forge this one. And it's got army capacity, which means you can send less troops. You need less troops to go gathering for more resources. And you'll see as you go up, Army capacity increases to 27.5%, which is what I use even to this date. Because this one helps you on construction, but it doesn't help you on capacity. So different equipment, different uses. Okay, so that wraps up on my forging gear stuff. It can definitely go so much more into detail, and people constantly talk about these, what's good, what's bad, and what should I do. The best thing to do is ask your guildmates, ask the ones that have been playing for a while, and you will also see some players. When I was first starting to play and finding out things, I would literally click on other people's castles and I would copy their stuff. Like, I would just click on hers and look at what she got. Okay, so that's forging gear. I know that's exactly what I need. And 99.9% of the time, most people will use the exact same gear for specific things. Like this set right here I can tell is Cav set. And that's what she's focusing on right now because she's probably attacking something on infantry wise. Right, so she's sending Cav units. Okay, so that wraps up this particular video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it and learned something. And I will see you again on next video. Thanks.